te rends compte.
I want you to realise. What's that going to do to the soft? It's going to turn it what?
Hard.
Off you go. I want you to realise.
Je veux que tu te rendes compte.
Now, how are we going to spell rendre? We can spell up as far as the sounds because we know what's going to have to come after the D to give us the spelling. So spell rendre in the subjunctive for the tu.
R-E.
Spell what you can hear. R-E, rendre. Lovely. Rendre. Rendre.
D.
Now, what's after the D so that I can hear?
S.
What's after the D so I can hear it?
Rond.
What's after the D so I can hear it?
Nothing.
I wouldn't hear it otherwise. What has to come after the D for me to hear it?
E.
Thank you.
An E.
And then if it's a to verb, what else is going to go on the end?
S.
Spot on, Ginny. That's it. Well done. Yeah, that's all it is. You can hear it, okay? So I want you to realise, je veux que tu te rendes compte. Okay, so in your essay, you know, France has to realise. Oh, we've got the to form. What was the infinitive of to realise? Give me the to form. Se rendre compte. Lovely. It's a say for me. France has to realise. La France has to do.
Doit.
Lovely. Spell doit for me.
D-O-I.
Yes, because it's a thing, isn't it? It's a thing. T for third person. Yeah. Doit. France has to render. La France doit se rendre compte. So give me France has to. La France doit.
La France doit
Itself render se
rendre compte.
Okay, C-O-M-P-T-E. Good, okay?
C-O-N-P-T-E.
But we don't say compte.
Sorry.
We don't say compte, we say compte, okay?
Compte.
Like the worst word in English, changing the U to an O kind of thing, okay? Good, excellent. So now we're going to talk a little bit, and as and when these things come up, great, okay? So yesterday, I realised
Je me suis rendu compte
that my French
que mon français
was a lot better.
était...
Good. Spell été for me.
Été...
Été?
Huh?
Am I saying été or été?
Été.
So what's on the E?
E.
Good, it's the one at the beginning,
Little.
so bottom left, top right.
E-T.
Notice the verb is être like this, but we didn't honour that. We didn't honour that. Été, good, off you go. So E-T-A.
E-T-A-I-S.
Well done. A lot better.
Beaucoup.
Spell beaucoup for me.
B-E-A-U-C-O-U-P.
Nice job.
Beaucoup.
Mieux. Because
Parce que
after having worked with Luc,
après avoir travaillé
Lovely.
avec Luc,
you're going to spell après for me.
après,
Yeah, you can spell in French letters if you want. So A-P,
après,
R. Now, is it après or après?
après.
It's basically, dumb as it sounds, is it the last syllable in the word? When it's the last syllable in the
Après.
word, it will more often than not be the long one. Lovely. Après, also listen to me, très. Il est très sympa. People think because of the enthusiasm, like, oh, he's very nice, they always want to go très, but it's grave, it's top, left, bottom, right. Good. So he's very nice. No, so after having realised, not really the arrogant sod. after having worked with Luc,
Après avoir travaillé.
Now, travailler is from the past, so spell travailler,
Travaillé.
because it's the past word. Oui. Oui. I. Deux L, well done.
L. I was going to say W, that's Spanish.
Deux L.
Okay, deux L.
A.
Or
so you can say E aigu, E acute, or you can say E accent aigu, but you can just say A, you can say the sound it makes. Because it's the past
So
word.
is there a long one on
No.
the bottom E? There's no E on there.
Okay, say for me.
There's no accent on the E.
Say for me.
Travailler.
Yeah, you're thinking of the present tense.
Oh, yes, no, there is, because it's the past.
Well done, Ginny, well done. You've got it.
Okay.
No, it's not, but you're getting it all right.
But you're never
Okay.
gonna. I feel like I'm never gonna get it. Like
Ginny, you're getting it as we're going along. We're getting it as you're going along, and your
Okay.
homework will be a dictation. So effectivement, pour tes devoirs, je vais te parler. Tu ne dois pas créer les phrases en français. Tout ce que tu dois faire, c'est effectivement d'écrire ce que je te dis. Donc je vais t'envoyer, je t'enverrai, irregular future, even though it's envoyer, even though it's an A verb, we don't say envoyerai, we say enverrai. Je t'enverrai effectivement 30 secondes, 1 minute, peut-être 2 minutes de français, et tu vas l'écrire pour moi avec un stylo, avec un crayon, à l'écrit, enfin, taper, type, je m'en fous, I don't care, okay? Good, so, lovely, good, but...
Mais?
Non, ça va, on va parler normalement, ne t'inquiète pas, on va parler normalement. Ok, qu'est-ce que tu penses de Harvey Weinstein? So, what we're going to do at the moment, the minute you want to say something, the minute you want a word, you just give me the word in English. Just literally say. So if you go, for example, oh, je pense qu'il est, I think he's well dodgy, je pense qu'il est dodgy, I give you the word straight away and we carry on. Okay? So it's just for us to have a conversation now, and the minute you want the vocabulary, you just don't put your hand up, you just give me the word in English, I will feed it you, you give me the sentence again. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de ce qui s'est passé, what's happened avec Harvey Weinstein?
C'est bizarre.
Pourquoi?
Parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'années où il était behaving.
Pause. Good. So he was behaving. So remember, how do you say he was eating?
Il mangeait.
Did we translate was?
Yeah.
So when we've got was and then another verb ing, we only translate the ing verb.
Yes.
So the verb to behave, you've heard of comportment. So it's nice, easy ER verb. I said ER, kill me. Se comporter. Se comporter. Now people always panic when you put a reflexive verb in the was. But the fact is, all you're doing is... the was. Je me... So how do you say I was behaving? Je me... So the verb is comporter. Je me comporter. That's all it is.
Je me comportais.
There's none of the fancy crap. There's no je me suis. It's just je me. Notice, how many verbs are there in the present? One. How many verbs are there in the was? One. So I see him,
yes.
Je le vois. I was seeing him, je le voyais. All you do is deal with the verb. But you crap.
Why do you want to put it in there?
Because I've busted.
Because it's reflexive.
Because I've absolutely busted a gut to get people to manage reflexive in the past, which is normally just impossible for people. They have to... You see this going on in their face, and you've all just been trained to go je me suis, whatever. And also because, to be honest with you, a lot of reflexive verbs are action-based, so you're going to tend to say blah, blah, blah. But you could say yesterday when I was shaving my legs, hier quand je me rasais les jambes. I mean, there's times when I obviously don't shave my legs. There's times when you I wax. No, I'm joking. Please. There's times when you need the was thing. So, for example, how do I say I speak?
Je parle.
How do I say I speak to myself?
Je me parle.
Great. Now, with no change to the first two, give me I was speaking to myself.
Je me parlais.
Great. Good. I spoke to myself. Now you can do something clever.
Je me suis
That's it.
Parlé.
Great.
Je
Okay.
me suis.
So, things to bear in mind for our spelling homework. You've done really well. The patterns will come up. S, S and T. So, for example, don't look at a word individually to work out how you spell it. Because all you will do, same as you're speaking, you will give me the correct French, but from the wrong place. For example, how do you say I finish?
Je finis.
Fini.
Fini.
Good.
Je finis.
How do you say, your brain went finir, you wanted to say fit, you wanted to do a soft and a hard. It's not a bad reflex, but remember it's a snake verb we've got to jump over. How do you say I finished? Action.
J'ai fini.
Lovely. Now as far as you're concerned, they sound the same. But je finis is the present tense, so it's a soft hard, so F-I-N-I-S, F-I-N, tu finis, F-I-N-I, je, S, tu, S-I-T. Il finissent, got to remember E-N-T for the day. I finished, j'ai fini, how am I spelling the past?
F-I-N-I.
Great. I can, je
peux.
spell it?
P-E-U-X.
Weird. Tu peux, P-E-U-X. Il peut, P-E-U. Good. I'm going out. Now, your classic soft hards will follow this SST business. So, je sors.
Oh.
What's the first three letters you know are going to be there?
S-O-R.
Great. And then what's going to go on because it's the soft hard? S.
S.
Tu sors, S-O-R-S. And the two, because of the S. He goes out, il sort, S-O-R.
T.
Spot on. Spot on, spot on. Okay? Prendre. odd category, same as vendre. Let's do it. So I sell, je prends, P-R-E-N-D-S.
Yes.
Tu prends, P-R-E-N-D-S. Il
S.
prend, P-R-E-N-D, finish.
Yeah, no
Because
T.
you wouldn't have P-R-E-N-D-T.
Prompt.
That would just look odd. Okay, good. So I'm going to deliberately use all these kind of things. What I want you to do with the listening, okay, is pop the. Make sure you've got the accents on as well. So I want you to write it down once for spelling, then read it again, and make sure you've got the accents on in place. Okay, because basically, I know it sounds really annoying. But one of the reasons I really kick up a fuss about pronunciation is once you've got another reason why I do the vowel pushing, because when you're doing the vowel, you know whether you're going or you know whether you're going ooh or ooh. You need to spell a word ooh. So pousser, you think right pou. So ou as opposed to pou. So the fact is, you can write what you hear. And then there's no more panic about spelling. It's you'll find it most of the time. Okay? So this is, I always like to do this lesson, and it makes people feel a hell of a lot more comfortable when they start thinking about exams. So obviously we will then next week do a big conversation. We will talk about lots of topics. So I will bring in questions where we will talk about giving answers. So we'll say, I think it's a really good question because da-da-da-da-da. So I'm looking at longer answers of questions. We're basically prepping you next week for the oral. Okay, we're going to whether we do one at Christmas or whether we do one whenever. Basically just getting you to speak more. And half the time it's not about loads of French. So basically if you're answering about Harvey Weinstein, you don't need to necessarily say, well, following the inevitable subpoena from his defending counsel, you don't need to say that. You can say, it's really weird, it's somebody who was really well known, I've seen a lot of his films, I guess I've seen his face, but to be honest with you, it's weird how women didn't say anything. Whatever. This is quite...
I didn't even know who he was.
Did you not? Oh, okay. So, Miramax, like they did Chicago, the film, and loads of stuff.
Miramax, the company.
Because those are his parents and stuff. Big guy in Hollywood.
Okay,
so I didn't know. Description: Je ne savais pas.
Je ne savais pas.
Who it was? Qui c'était?
Qui c'était?
Lovely. So if somebody said, "What do you think about Harvey Weinstein?" Nobody wants your legal answer. You can just give me your French. Luc, en fait, c'est une question bizarre, parce que c'est une question intéressante, parce que jusqu'à hier, up until yesterday, je ne savais pas qui c'était. Donc, what could you do? Get in an emotion. It's weird. Get in a neutral. It's weird that you have asked. C'est bizarre que tu aies. Subjunctive. A-I-E-S. Yeah. Tu aies demandé. C'est bizarre que tu. It's weird that we have this situation. C'est bizarre que nous ayons. Anything you can do. Or I am. What's the word? I'm happy that you have asked. Je suis contente que tu aies. Fine. A-I-E-S. So the fact is, that will come up all the single time. So the fact is, it's just basically 90% of the question is not specifically relating to the question. Same as in English. If I said, what do you think about it? You go, oh, do you know what? It's so weird. I didn't know who it was. It's kind of like this. Do you see what I mean?
Just chit chat.
It's chit chat. So once you realise that, and then you think for an essay, what do you think about Harvey Weinstein? Your introduction will be, it's an excellent question because I didn't actually realise who it was, which is also shows us how this guy was hidden for whatever, So we'll talk about converting opinions into essays. So we start with the spelling, then we widen your opinion, and I want to hear all about you. We care about what you have to say. And then when you've got this big wide opinion, that's when we look at the essay, because there's no point doing the essay until you've got a wide opinion. And fine, what you will now realise is you can say the majority of what you want to say. The problem is, people just don't think that they can. So we will deliberately do it. So I will bring you some A-level, print them off, I'll bring them in, or bring it on the device. I'll bring you some A-level questions next week, so that you go, oh wow, okay, and you can look at them, and you can go, oh shit, okay, I can do this. And it is just about saying stuff in a different way. So your homework, which you will receive, will be a dictation. So could you just literally, right, you can type it out if you really want, but to type it out, you've obviously got to press the finger down to get the right code. Which you can do if you want, or you can write it out by hand.
I've got a French keyboard on here.
Have you? Yeah, or basically you can write it on a piece of A4 paper. Can you double space it? Yeah? So bring it in at the beginning next time, and I'll correct it. Or not correct it, because, so just remember the rules, okay? But what's really good about the correction is it's basically really easy, because the correction...
I'm really lazy with the writing part.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. Yeah, okay. everything. It's almost as if I know what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? It's the-
I can't believe that.